our arrival in Walvis Bay from Cape Town, 6-day passage, and Walvis Bay Yacht Club was our home for a little bit longer than we expected, but we made the most of it. The seals were constant companions, always trying desperately to get onto the boat, and they couldn't climb up that ladder, so they always slid down. Sunsets, sunrises through the portholes, very, very scenic. But yeah, and then we put up the quarantine flag, which was up a little bit longer than we thought.
Well, we are put to the Quebec flag, the Cape Maritime. That means the starboard, the main mast. That means that we are asking for.
And so life aboard continued at anchor in Walvis Bay. Irish doing washing. He threatened me with my life if I put this on this video. He didn't want Avril to see him doing washing, to show that he could actually do his washing. So we had this leaking water pump keep us busy in Walvis Bay. We managed to source a new replacement one from our mechanic in Durban, Jonathan Tomlin. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Saved our voyage. And kindly couriered by my brother from Durban to Walvis Bay. And so we had another COVID test and another COVID test. Here's one here which we failed. Eventually we got a de-isolation certificate from the Namibian Health Department, so we could check into the country, and Rich, guy on the right, could finally fly home back to Durban. He'd waited 2 weeks. So this legend on the left, Mr. Etienne Labuschagne, local from Walvis Bay, was super helpful and helped us with supplies, helped us cart us around. What a great guy, and thank you, Etienne, for all your help, much appreciated. So when we finally got cleared into the country, we had 1 day to go and see the country, so we headed straight into the desert. This is the Swakopmund waterfront, very pleasant. Nice brew houses, Museum Cafe, which looks like a nice little brewery pub. Don't know what Irish is watering there, but he's trying to water something to grow. In our little hire car, we found this little oasis in the middle of the desert outside Swakopmund, Contest Park. It was also the venue where Mad Max the movie was shot, so they liked the terrain for Mad Max the movie, and it was shot here back in the 80s. Yeah, but a fascinating place, well-run little German establishment, really interesting, lots of old cars. Without a doubt, had the best hamburger I've ever had here. The patty was unbelievably good. Filling up diesel, main road, Walvis Bay, on Saturday morning. No beer. Crisis. Well, we eventually found beer. That crisis averted, and it was continuing ferrying diesel up and down to the boat. Sunday, 6th of August, departure day, and that was the last sight we had of Africa. A few hours into the trip, day one at sea, the wind has finally started picking up and we're close to turning off the motor. Paulo's preparing lunch. Wow, dinner. First morning sunrise. Rolly bumpy night, but a little bit of sunrise makes everything seem a little brighter and better. So the story for the day is the autopilot, which is that unit there, suddenly took off on a tangent and the boat started going in circles, and we had to manually take over and control the boat, not knowing what was going on. Checked all the settings, couldn't find what was going on, and eventually I realized that the autopilot's compass sits in a cupboard right under the shelf, and what we'd done on that area on the shelf, we'd put a VHF radio line there, handheld radio, right above the compass, so it got the autopilot compass going into a total spin and sent the boat into a spin. So luckily we realized that, otherwise we would have been without an autopilot for days. It's not nice to manual steer. So that was the action of the day. All ended well and we learned. It's important to learn. So the morning cleanup of flying fish on the boat. They land on the boat overnight, they're flying along and they go flying into the boat. Must be a hell of a shock to them. But anyway, you've got to clean them off the deck in the mornings. The colour of the water has turned a beautiful purple blue. So there's the purple I was talking about, purple colour of the water. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. This is our little AIS unit. If you fall in the water, it triggers automatically, aerial pops up, sends a signal to the boat and marks your position. So the boat knows to where to come pick you up if you fall in the water, especially at night. Irish with his Gerietski's t-shirt on. The Gerietskis are a group of paddlers, surf ski paddlers in Durban, which we all paddle for socially. It's probably a surf ski group, or it's probably a drinking group with a surf ski problem. But as you can see, and yeah, so the Gerietskis have also sponsored a lot of equipment on the boat. They've been supportive of my endeavors, and yeah, thanks to the Gerietskis, unbelievable bunch of guys and ladies. So yeah, it's a tribute to them. Almost sunset. Can't quite see it tonight, but cloudy. But Irish is cooking away, making a chicken stew, and it's that time of the day. Enjoying my sundown. One beer a day keeps the demons away. You can see there's one reef in the main. In other words, the mainsail is not all the way to the top. We've reduced its size. The wind's a little bit strong, so we just reduced the sail, so there's not too much force on the boat. Can come down even more. If that's the first reef, we can go to a second reef. We can even make it a third reef when it's pretty small. Excuse the salty crack plumber's bum, but that's Paulo washing with salt water to save the boat's fresh water.
Take a picture of me. And then take a picture of you.
It's that time of the day, taking down the Namibia flag. It's done its time, and we're moving on.
We
we are taking out the courtesy flag. That's the amazing country in Namibia. We are taking it out because we have to save the flag. It's a really nice flag. It's a good memory, a good souvenir of a special place. The first country, Ventos do Mar, have been outside of South Africa, and it's the travel of Ventos do Mar, Brandon. Now we are in 20. Oh, let me do a zoom. Really nice flag. Happy captain. And then now we are in parallel 20, and we left Walvis Bay, that was parallel 23, and then St. Helena is parallel 15. Okay, that's it. So really nice journey. Today is Thursday, 10 March 2022. And we are in downwind, as we have to do sailing around the world all the time is in the downwind. Okay, that's it. I am Paulo, a Brazilian crew for this boat to journey to cross the Atlantic with Brandon.
Little squid got landed on our deck. No, he's dead. Cleared out of the water and landed on the deck. Amazing.
So this is my daily struggle with the water maker. It's telling me it's too much salt. The reject light is on, and then suddenly if I push, everything's good, and it's making water. And now it says the salinity is better, coming down, but it's still not happy, and it's just a fault with the salinity probe. There's nothing wrong with the water. If we go through to here, we'll go through to the actual water maker, which is in the engine bay. Very noisy. That's the water maker. Really making water. That's the rudder at the back. And the generator making a lot of noise over there. So just busy downloading our weather from Predict Wind. Works through the satellite phone. Satellite phone is that little unit over there, and it links to my laptop, and there you can see it's busy downloading the weather. It's an extremely slow connection because through the satellite, but it sends us everything we need to know. So it's detailed weathercast for the next 5 days I'm downloading, so that'll take us through to St. Helena, so we know what we can expect. Oops, seems to have stalled there. That's how we do it here. So that's the benefit of a spinnaker. We've got about 7 knots of wind, 7 or 8 knots of wind, and we are doing 5, almost 6 knots. It'll come up again. 4.6, 5.7, 6.7, 7.4 with 7 or 8 knots of wind. So the spinnaker almost goes at boat speed of the speed of boats, gives you a boat speed similar to the speed of the wind. And there she is in all her glory. So we're coming up to halfway, which is 612 nautical miles to go. Is halfway. There's 613, and you can see we're about halfway between Namibia and St. Helena. So to honor that, we'll give a little drink to King Neptune for letting us use his sea safely up to now. 1 tot of my treasured Captain Morgan Spice Gold to King Neptune. To Neptune for a safe passage onwards. Cheers!
Bom, isso aí. Então a gente agradeceu.
It's that time of the week, washing day, and it's the manual way. I'm looking forward to an automatic washing machine. So it's wash and rinse. I'm trying to save water as well. It's not easy to save water when you're washing clothes. We're down to trying to save about 5 litres a day so the water maker doesn't get under too much pressure. But yeah, not often you're going to see me washing.
Washing done, but important to check that the jocks are clean. No smellies.
Yeah, still 7 or 8 knots from the back. Pressure trying to hold the camera there. Get washed out the hands.
Dinner's up. We hooked up 2 Dorado at the same time. Irish landed his, I lost mine, which was a big bull Dorado. An interesting fact, Dorado mate for life, male and female. And so you catch the one and often you catch the other with it.
Paulo carving up the Dorado that Irish caught about 2 hours ago. We lost a big one, which was, but this is more than enough for 2 dinners. Still a bucket load in there. But yeah, Paulo's doing a great job there. Easy catching the fish, crap job to clean it.
No, I can clean all fishes, man. There is no problem.
So in the red circled bit, west 0.03, we just crossed into the Western Hemisphere, crossed the Greenwich Meridian time. Avril, there he is washing clothes again. I think he enjoys it. I think you should employ him full time as the laundry guy at your house.
Sailing 101 again. So this is what we call wing on wing. The mainsail is to one side, to starboard, and the jib is to the other side, to port. You can even see we got the jib sort of tied onto the cleat to try and get it wider, catch more wind. And this we use when we're going straight downwind. The wind's coming directly from behind. We want maximum wind on each sail. We don't want one sail hiding behind the other. So we go wing on wing. There you go.
The guys thought it would be a nice relaxing passage and sail, but no, we got our gym done every second day. Worked through our program.
Morning. A update from night 8. Night watch, about quarter to 5 in the morning. And I've been on watch since 3 o'clock. Just it's been pretty quiet. Wind blowing about 15 knots. We wing on wing, we're going straight downwind, gunning straight for St. Helena. I'll show you now on the iPad and on the chart where we're heading for. But yeah, it's been pretty peaceful. No ships on the AIS, no ships on the radar, so it's pretty chilled night watch. And yeah, we're still wing on wing and we're going quite well. Maintaining about 5.5 knots, 6 knots on average. So if you look here, I'll show you where we are. So you can see up here St. Helena and we're down here, and it says we got about 1 day and 13 hours, 1 day 11 hours, depends on our speed, about 1 day 14 hours left. Is our expected time of arrival. There's the radar, it's pretty quiet. nothing on the radar, and nothing on the AIS. So those are the main things I watch. And there's our wind speed at the moment, about 12 knots, 8 knots, varying a bit. And our average speed for the past day or two has been 5.9 knots. So yeah, getting along pretty nicely. And we'll update again maybe tomorrow. They've been converted to fishermen. Paulo waiting. And the Dorado Slayer.
So these next few clips I tied the GoPro to the halyard and centered up the mast to about halfway up the mast. So that's why it's a bit wobbly and the GoPro swinging around, but now it's a different view of the setting sun ahead of us in the west. Yeah, nice to get an aerial view. Always the highlight of the day. Dolphin swimming in our bow. Good sized pod came and accompanied us for probably about 15-20 minutes, entertained us. Always a highlight. Another sunset, nothing but water. This little guy, obviously exhausted, took its perch on our boat for most of the night. It was a windy, rough night, and he was obviously had enough. He stayed on there and just after sunrise, went on his way. Morning, it's day 9 or 10, I think, not sure. From almost at St. Helena, we have got 47 nautical miles left. There you go, 47 nautical miles left. And yeah, we are, there's St. Helena. To get there by sunset, we need to do 6.5 knots. So we're monitoring. Our average speed at the moment is 7.6 knots, so we're gunning it quite hard. We're pushing downwind. We've got the sails wing on wing downwind, and luckily we've got that is under reading. We've probably got about 20 knots of wind. And yeah, so far so good. We're looking to get to St. Helena by 4 o'clock before the harbour closes, so we can get a mooring ball. So yeah, wish us luck. There's a little bit of excitement around the boat today. Irish is reading Thinking Up a Hurricane. It's a girl that used to be at school with me. She grew up sailing on a boat. And yeah, it's all about sailing, yeah. Paulo is reading One Girl, One Dream, the Laura Decker story. 14 years old, all alone, around the world.
Many girls, many dreams.
That's Paulo's dream girl. That's what 9-10 knots looks like. We're screaming along straight downwind, and yeah, 9 or 10 knots. We got 3 squalls coming up behind us. That's storms. We can see them on the radar. A whole line of them coming up behind us. You can see over there. Each of those dots is one sort of storm system. And if I show you where they are, you can see them out to sea. There's one there. And the other one is, well, they're all out there. Looking pretty ominous. So we'll wait for the wind to hit. We have reduced sail, and hopefully we're ready. Land ho! It's been day 10, and there it is at last, some land, something else other than the sea and water.
So we had a little wager earlier today. The first to spot land, we'd get an extra beer tonight. And true to form, Irish kept his eyes glued to the horizon and he spotted the land first. So he gets the extra beer tonight. No one more deserving. But there it is, St. Helena in the distance. And try and focus on it there. That's it over there. And it's quite a few clouds and rainstorms around. We've been dodging, we've had Spinnaker up and down. But we're getting there. We've got about 4 hours to go to get to the mooring. But land ho! Hey! It's an awesome sight. Almost. We'll tear it to the eye, but I'll hold it back. It's quite something. Crossing at least a section of the ocean becomes fairly emotional. And there it is, dead ahead. The northern tip of St. Helena, southern tip down there. The whole island, that is St. Helena showing off.
You might have heard Pet Shop Boys Suburbia playing in the background there, and Suburbia because that island is pretty much as big as a normal average suburb. Saving more water, saltwater bath. It's quite difficult to get soap to foam using salt water. So you feel like you just wiping yourself with water. The soap doesn't really froth too much. You're nice and sticky afterwards. It's lovely.
That's the size of the island. That's the island on radar. The whole sum of St. Helena on radar. Little spot out there. Paulo doing his Instagram post for his arrival at St. Helena. Our destination, just round that corner down there. Irish and I have called it Plut's Corner because we're going to take the tiger line around it, but we won't do what Plut does and normally trashes a surf ski around every corner. We'll stay a little bit wider. Sailing along the north coast of St. Helena, magnificent rock formations, sort of layered striata, whatever they call those things. I'm a physio, not a geologist. There's the top town, and right down the bottom is the mooring field that we're heading for. See all the yachts there. Top town up there. There's some new harbour down there. I think we're busy. Not ready for use. That's the mooring field we're heading to. Somewhere in there we've got to find a mooring ball. Here we are, Jamestown, St. Helena. It's the little town in the valley, and then it comes up to the top town, top there, and there's all our mooring field, where we'll be hopefully anchored for a while, moored up for a while onto a mooring ball. Got my trusty crew waiting with boat hooks to pick up a mooring.
Everybody there,
Yeah. So here goes the quarantine flag. Hopefully it's not up too long. End of the trip, end of the video. South African flag up, passage beer. Thank you.